राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदना व्रज जनरंजना यशोदनंदना व्रज जनरंजना यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी राधा माधव कुंज विहारी राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदना व्रज जनरंजना यशोदनंदना व्रज जनरंजना यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदना व्रज जनरंजना यशोदनंदना व्रज जनरंजना यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी राधा माधव कुंज विहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय जगन्नाथ जय पदाधिपा जय सुभद्रा जय गौरानिता जय गौरानिता जय गौरानिता जय गौरानिता नित्य गौर हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल जय सच्चिनंदना जय जय सच्चिनंदन गौर हरि जय सच्चिनंदन जय सच्चिनंदन जय सच्चिनंदन गौर हरि गौरा गौरा गौर हरि गौरा गौरा गौर हरि जय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल जय गौर हरि बोल जय प्रभु पदा जय प्रभु पदा जय प्रभु पदा जय प्रभु पदा जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतश्री श्रीमद् जैसी भक्त वेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपाद की जाय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय नमाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की जय प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय श्री क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय गंगामाई यमुनामाई की जय भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय हताय गो प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल Glories to us Hare Krishna. 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 Glories, 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 Shri Guru and Gauranga. Prabhupada ki jai. विष्णु पदाय कृष्ण विष्टाय पुत्रे श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी राम नमस्ते सारस्वत देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारण विशेष शून्यवाद पाश्चात्य देशतारण उपाध की जय थैंक यू फॉर ज्वाइनिंग रीडिंग फ्रॉम भगवद गीता चैप्टर 5 टाइटल कर्म योगा एक्शन एंड कृष्ण कॉन्शसनेस वर्स नंबर 17 ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी हरि ओम तत्सत् तद्बुद्धयस्तदात्मानः तन्निष्ठा तत्परायणा गच्छन्ति अपुनरावृत्तिं ज्ञाननिर्धूतकल्मषा तद्बुद्धयस्तदात्मानः तन्निष्ठा तत्परायणा गच्छन्ति अपुनरावृत्तिं ज्ञाननिर्धूतकल्मषा. Yes, Yashwant Prabhu, you're not able to, you're able to hear?
Yeah. I don't know why not when looking for you.
You are able to hear or no? Voice is clear?
No, I am here, but is not looking photographs.
I see. Okay.
आप नहीं दिखते हो मुझे.
Yeah. Because verse is once I stop sharing, then you can see me.
Okay.
It is right now. It is a small icon. You'll see me once I finish this verse. Then you will see me. Okay. So if you wait few minutes, then you'll be able to see. तद्बुद्धयस्तदात्मानः तन्निष्ठा तत्परायणा गच्छन्ति अपुनरावृत्तिं ज्ञाननिर्धूतकल्मषा. Word to word. Tadbuddhaya, those whose intelligence is always in the Supreme. Tat Atmana, those whose minds are always in the Supreme. Tat Nishtha, those whose faith is only meant for the Supreme. Tat Parayana, who have completely taken shelter of Him. Gachanti, go. Apuna avrittim, to liberation. Gnana, by knowledge. Nirduta, cleansed. Kalmasha, misgivings. Translation by Drivenges A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. When one's intelligence, mind, faith, and refugee are all fixed in the Supreme, then one becomes fully cleansed of misgivings through complete knowledge and thus proceeds straight on the path of liberation. Please repeat. When one's intelligence, mind, faith, and refugee are all fixed in the Supreme, then one becomes fully cleansed of misgivings through complete knowledge and thus proceeds straight on the path of liberation. I will try to understand this verse. Oops. Yeah, now everybody can see. Yeah. Om Ajnanatimrandasya Gnananjansalakaya Chakshurmilitam Mera Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Mokam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langete Girim Yat Kripat Tamaham Vande Sri Gurum Denatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Iswaram. Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhayeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा
Hare Krishna.
कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं रूप गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय श्री प्रभुपाद की जय गौर भक्तवृंद की जय थैंक यू फॉर joining. So is this Yashwant Prabhu is there? You're able to see Yashwant Prabhu?
Yeah,
Okay.
see you. But, you can see me. I don't know. Not open camera. I think you're.
Maybe hold on. Let me see. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you can, I think. Yeah. Okay. You can be on the mute. Try to.
Mm.
Yeah. So today we are discussing Bhagavad Gita, chapter 5, Karma Yoga, Action and Krishna Consciousness, verse number 17. So after Lord Krishna giving the transcendental knowledge of chapter 4, so in chapter 5, Lord Krishna is giving more superior knowledge because of the regulated action. One must perform activity, but with regulation, with not whatever they like, but it must be based on the Shastra. It must be based on not having any attachment to the results. That's what in this verse, especially, there are 4 sections in this chapter. The first section is called Karma Yoga is equal to or easier than Jnana Yoga. Arjuna was asking the question to Lord Krishna. You are saying you want me to renounce is action. You want me to renounce or you want me to work in devotion or work in devotion or work in renunciation. Yeah, renounce the work. Karma yoga or karma sannyas. Which one you want me to do? Your instructions are a little bit confusing to me in chapter 4. You are telling transcendental knowledge is everything. So I can renounce everything and go to forest or go and sit at some place and study. So I don't need to work. I don't need to do any action. I don't need to be in this world. That's what Arjuna understood as. But Lord Krishna is stressing, actually, is telling this transcendental knowledge is to internally renounce, understanding that nothing belongs to us, everything belongs to the Supreme Lord. So that's why transcendental knowledge is being given. Even the otherwise, chapter 3 Karma Yoga has already been discussed. So that is the first section. Lord first Krishna is clarifying Karma Yoga, work in devotion is better. Otherwise, both are equal. Means one who is working with devotion, same result he will get. One who is renouncing, or he might be directly engaging in Jnana Marga, he will also get the result. But it will be more complicated, more difficult to perform that, especially in Kali Yuga. It's very, very tough to concentrate the mind and intelligence in that activity. So that's why Lord Krishna is telling it's more easier to perform Karma Yoga with the devotion. Perform your activity, but just include Krishna in each and every activity. with devotion. That was the first section. Lord Krishna is stressing the point. Then Krishna said, now you understand that Krishna, you have to put Krishna in the center and perform activity. But not only that, you must give up your attachment to the results. Nishkama Karma Yoga. Lord Krishna is stressing in the next section. That is 8 to 12. Then the Nishkama Karma Yoga means you should perform just like in a bank. When you go to bank, there is a teller who takes money from us and deposits, or who withdraws. The person may withdraw money. So, but for the teller, he is just working for the bank manager, for the actual bank. So it doesn't matter whether somebody is withdrawing or depositing. So for him, nothing is, he is not taking into heart. Oh, my money is going away, or my money is increasing. He is not worried about that. He is just simply working and going home. He is not worried about anything, about the results, positive or negative balance. Same way, one must work in this world without being attached to the results. Thinking and offering everything, this is the Lord's property. So that's how Lord Krishna is instructing next Arjuna. You must perform this duty of fighting on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, but you shouldn't be thinking that the result will be, I will enjoy my result, I will gain the kingdom, or I don't want to fight because there is too much difficulty. So I don't know, because he has given the reasons. I don't want to fight because there is no enjoyment. I don't want to fight because there is compassion. My own family, whom I am going to share this opulence. I don't want to fight because there will be sinful activity. If I kill my own family man, I don't want to fight because destruction of dynasty and Varna Sankara will happen. So many reasons he gave before. That's why Lord Krishna is saying, rather opposite. If you perform your duty just for my sake, for my pleasure, not for your own thoughts and whimsical ideas, mental speculations, then it won't be a good result. Rather, if you do it for me, then actually it will be highly beneficial. You will be on the path of liberation. So that's why Nishkama Karma Yoga is the next step. After knowing that, we must regulate our action. So just like we can eat whole day, but if we don't regulate, then it will be constipation or digestion. We have to run to bathroom, so many things. So that means there should be a regulation. So same way, one must regulate eating, sleeping, defending all these activities by putting Krishna in the center. Otherwise, it's very hard to regulate. It's not easy by our own endeavor, by our own efforts. Lord Krishna must be in our day-to-day life. Then it's easier to perform this regulated action. That's why transcendental knowledge is given in chapter 4. Now Krishna is stressing further point. Now we understood Karma Yoga with Krishna in the center with devotion. You understood Nishkama Karma Yoga. Then third section, 13 to 16, Lord Krishna is telling that when you come to that knowledge, Vidya, the body has 9 gates. All the 9 gates will be illuminated with knowledge. What are those 9 gates? You have 2 ears, you have 2 nostrils and 2 eyes, 6 of them, a mouth, 7. These are the 7 holes. And then you have anus and genitals, evacuation and procreation. So those are the 9 holes, Navarandra they call. So 9 holes in the body. They all will be illuminated with a transcendental knowledge. One who is working on the platform of Nishkama Karma Yoga. And understanding that is not the body, is not the mind, is not the intelligence, is the spirit soul, living force, and identifying that I am the servant of the God, servant of Lord Krishna. So that you will come to that point. Then, so you will also understand gradually by bhakti process only. Otherwise, vidya is not enough. Gnana yoga is not enough. Because otherwise, we see some people, they may be rich or they may be not attached to results because they have enough, they are satisfied with whatever they have, and they can feed poor people or they can give education to others. But not necessarily they are on the bhakti. Not necessarily they are worshipping the Lord. Then what are they getting in result? They are getting pious credits. That means they will enjoy for a few years in this life, and next life they will enjoy some time in heavenly planets, or they may go to moon planet and enjoy for some time. But once those credits are over, they again fall back to their place, and they may not even get human birth. it is not guaranteed. But one who performs with bhakti, so that's why Nishkama Karma Yoga means Nishkama Karma. When you say yoga means it must be connection with the Lord. But Nishkama Karma generally means not attached to results. There are many people in this world who does so many good things, but they are not necessarily in connection with God. They are not doing to please the Lord. They are not doing that. Actually, what I am doing, everything belongs to Krishna. Everything belongs to God. What am I giving? When I am born, nothing I brought. Everything I used God's property and increase the amount or increase the property, whatever the case may be, whether it's bank balance or food or clothing or whatever. You might be distributing that, but everything belongs to God. Nothing belongs to us. So that question doesn't arise in many of those people. So that's why it will become ordinary pious credit. So that's why Krishna is bringing that point. Not just Nishkama karma is not enough. You must perform bhakti. You must understand the knowledge of the soul and your relation with the Supreme Lord, that is Sambandha. And then you must also understand and practice that your relation with the Supreme Lord, everything must be done for the pleasure of Supreme Lord, practicing Abhideya, and then you attain the goal. So Lord Krishna is explaining 14 to 16 verses, 3 verses. He is explaining the Jiva, Isvara, and then Prakriti. This Prakriti, whatever we see, everything is coming from the Supreme Lord. Nothing belongs to us. And material energy is working on the order of Supreme Lord. Sun, as soon as you see sun, we must offer obeisances. Sun is a representative of the Supreme Lord. It is called two eyes. Sun and moon are called the two eyes of the Supreme Lord. Sun is getting its power from the toenails of the Supreme Lord. It is mentioned. There is a verse. This is the verse we must offer. When we see the sun, Surya Namaskar, we can offer and ask for the Krishna Prema, ask for strength to execute our worship to Lord Krishna. We can ask for that. We don't need to ask for any other benedictions. We can ask, we can approach demigods in that way just to increase our attachment to Lord Krishna. There is a verse in Brahma-Samhita. We can use that as a prayer to Lord Sun. And you can offer Mahaprasad of Lord Krishna. Whatever we may get from temple or at home, we offer. If you want to offer, you can offer to demigods. So they accept, because that is they really will be pleased with us when we do that. So understanding their position. There is a verse, Etchakshuresha Savita Sakala Grahanam Raja Saramurtir Ashesha Teja Yaschagnaya Samvrti Kala Chakro Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajam. So they are the eyes. Sun and moon are the eyes. Sun is rotating and working just on the order of the Lord. Not even an inch it moves. It doesn't delay exactly. It runs even a fraction of a second. It cannot go out of its orbit. On fear of Lord, it is doing its job. So we offer to that Surya Narayana, because Surya is getting strength from Lord Narayana. That's why he is called Surya Narayana. Otherwise, he doesn't have any independence. So that's how we have to understand. That's why Lord Krishna is stressing this point of relation between the Jiva, Isvara, and Prakriti. This material nature consists of so many things, but everything is, including Durga Devi, is under the guidance of the Supreme Lord. That's why, for that also, if you want to offer prayers to Durga Devi, that also is there. Srushti Sruti Pralaya Sadhan Sekti Eka Chayeva Yasya Bhavanani Vivarti Durga Tadichan Rupamasya Chestatesa Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajam. She is running like a shadow. Shadow means there must be a main personality, then you have a shadow. So Lord Krishna is in the front, he is guiding, and then Durga Devi is working under his direction. So that's why she is like a shadow. She doesn't do anything which is against the Supreme Lord. She makes sure that those who really want bhakti, who really want Krishna, she will allow them only enter into spiritual world. Otherwise, they will be here in this material world, life after life. So that's why we have to make that conscious choice, how we utilize our time, how we utilize our things, everything for the pleasure of the Lord. Now, after explaining, now Krishna is coming from that Karma Yoga, Nishkama Karma Yoga, then giving more understanding that Isvara, Jiva, and relation with Prakriti. Prakriti is inferior. So And Jiva is superior because we have higher intelligence. So, but we are tend to enjoy. I want to go to movie, I want to drink this, I want to eat this, everything different from the Supreme Lord. If you do anything in relation with Supreme Lord, that is actually akarma. That means no bondage. It will not create any problem for us. But minute we do anything not in relation with Supreme Lord, it will create a bondage. That's what Lord Krishna is. Now, Lord Krishna is stressing next 17 to last today's verse till the last 35th or so. This is called liberation, path of liberation. So the verse we read quickly and then we'll describe how easy, it's very easy to perform by the mercy of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Tad buddhayas tad atmana tan nishta tat parayana gachanti apunar avrittim jnana nirdota kalmasha. Four things are mentioned. So one who understands, one who is performing bhakti, only by bhakti we can understand the Lord, Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, Lord Vishnu. Because bhaktyayam ekaya grahya, bhaktyamam abhijanati. Krishna is not saying karmenam abhijanati or gnanenam abhijanati, yogenam. No, he is clearly telling bhaktyamam abhijanati. He is telling Arjuna, I am telling you this knowledge because you are my friend, you are my devotee, bhakta. That's why I am revealing the secret, confidential knowledge. Otherwise, there are so many people on the battlefield. He could have instructed so many others, but he actually instructed to only Arjuna. So that's why we have to clearly learn. So that first point is Buddha, one who is inclined to be performing bhakti to Krishna. Then first thing he will do is he will use his intelligence to be thinking about Lord Krishna. Tad Buddhaya. Then what else he do? Tad Atmanas, his mind, mana. Mind will be engaged in, absorbed in Lord Krishna's qualities. He will be thinking mind. And then Tan Nishta means his faith. He will be fully surrendered to Lord Krishna. Tat Parayana means that is surrender. Tat here means Supreme Lord. Tat means Supreme Lord because already explained in the previous verses. Gachanti, when he does that, when a person uses his intelligence, his mind, his every activity, then what will happen? Tad gachanti apunar avrutyam jnana nirdhota kalmasa. All the unwanted things will be removed. All the dirtiness in the heart will be removed, and he will be going back to Godhead. He will be liberated from this material conditioning. Material conditioning. Now, so I will explain. We'll discuss the Lord Nityananda Prabhu's glories of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. The easiest methods, the quick and easy methods, anybody can do. We'll describe. There are some favorite items of the Lord which anybody can do, cook at home and offer. So the Mother Sachi, who is not different from Yashoda Mai in Krishna Leela, in Gaur Leela, Lord Krishna as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Krishna's brother Balram. Mother is Sachi Mata. Jagannath Mishra is Vasudev in Krishna Leela. So they appeared as Sachi Mata, and Devaki and Vasudeva appeared as Sachi Mata and Jagannath Mishra. Her son Krishna, Lord Krishna appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, and Balaram appeared as Nityananda Prabhu. There are 12 Gopalas, Dwadasa Gopal, like we know, Sudam, Sridham, Subal, Madhumangal. So all these personalities are cohort boys playing with Lord Krishna. So they all appeared along with Nityananda Prabhu. It is mentioned in the book Prema Vilas, I think 3.40, lists 12 Gopalas as associates of Nityananda Prabhu. Sridham is called Ramadas Abhiram of Kanakul, Krishna Nagar in Hugli. Different places they appeared when Lord Balaram appeared. Sudama is Sundarananda Thakur, a Brahmana ascetic. And Vasudama, Dhanunjaya, he appeared as Dhanunjaya, is Vasudama in Krishna Leela. Gauridas Pandit, one of the prominent associates of Lord Nityananda, he is Subal in Krishna Leela. Kamalakara Pippalai, so is another associate of Nityananda Prabhu. He is called Mahabala in Krishna Leela. Uddharananda Datta Thakur, he is also very famous associate of Lord Nityananda. He is called Subahu. And Mahesh Pandit is Mahabahu in Krishna Leela. Purushottama Pandit, there is another. He is called Stoka Krishna in Krishna Leela. And Parameshwara Das is Arjuna in Krishna Leela. And Purushottama Nagar, Dama in Krishna Leela. Kala Krishna Das, there are two Kala Krishna Das. This is another one, not the one who was attracted by Bhatta Haris. And Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had to pull him by the hair. He was attracted by women. Even though he was a associate, he was servant of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he went to the holy places, South India Yatra. But he was attracted by the Bhatta Haris. They are having women. So then Mahaprabhu had to pull him with hair. So that is, but this Kala Krishna Das is different. Kala Krishna Das is Labanga in Krishna Leela. Madhumangal or Kusumasva in Krishna Leela is Sridhara in Gaur Leela, in Nityananda Leela or Gaur Leela. So there is one beautiful bhajan by Bhaktivinoda Thakur where this nice how easily we can get the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, where it is, this is written by Sri Bhaktivinoda Thakur. बायरे एक दिन शांतिपुरे प्रभु अद्वैते गरे दुई प्रभु भोजने बोशिलो साक कोरी आस्वादना प्रभु बोले भक्तगण यही साक कृष्ण आस्वादिलो हेनो साक आस्वादने कृष्ण प्रेम ऐसे मने सेई प्रेमे करो आस्वादना जरा बुद्धि परिहरि प्रसाद भोजन करी हरि हरि बोलो सर्वजन. What it means? Oh brothers, one day at Sri Advaita's house in Shantipur, the two lords, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Krishna, Lord Nityananda, Balaram, were seated for lunch. Lord Chaitanya tasted the green leafy vegetable preparation and addressed the assembly of his devotees. This sauk is so delicious. Lord Krishna has definitely tasted it. As the taste of sauk like this, love of Krishna arises in the heart. In such love, you should taste these remnants. Give up all materialistic conception on taking the Lord's prasad. All of you just chant Hari Hari. This is the Bhaktivinoda Thakur saying. That's why one must offer. Very easy process to do is simply offer saak at home. Then that way it's very easy to do. Because in America also people think it is not easy. But you will get, especially if you go to farmers market, you get most of the saak. In Indian shop also you get, there are different types of spinach. There is a pohi leaves. There is a, that is coming up. In Chaitanya Bhagavat, Antya Kanda, part 1, this description is given. How you can get love of God. So easy, anybody can do. Chapter number 4, verse number 279. Ai jane prabhura santosha bada sake. Vamsati prakara saka randila jateke. Mother Sachi knew that the Lord was very fond of saka, spinach. So she cooked 20 different varieties. 20 different varieties. That's a, so there is a pohi leaf saag, there is a arbi leaves, there is beetroot leaves. All these are different types of leafy vegetables. Further, it is given. प्रत्याहे प्रत्यय प्रभु सकल व्यंजना महा आमोदिया नाता करेना भोजना. The Lord relieves each vegetable preparation with great satisfaction. She put the rice and the vegetables on the plates and then placed tulsi manjaris on top. She placed rice and vegetable preparation in rows on all sides and then she placed a fine seat in the middle. When the Lord saw the arrangement of rice and vegetable preparation, he offered his full obeisances. Lord said, what to speak of eating this rice? One is freed from material bondage just by seeing it. I am unable to describe such cooking. Even by smelling this rice, one develops a devotion to Krishna. I think Krishna and his associates have personally tasted this rice. After speaking these words, Lord Gauranga circumambulated the rice and sat down to eat. On the order of the Lord, all of his associates sat down all sides to watch the Lord eat. As the Lord of Vaikuntha began eating, the fortunate mother Sachi watched the full satisfaction of rice. Lord released each vegetable preparation with great satisfaction. Yet, of all preparations, Saka preparations were most glorious, for the Lord repeatedly ate them. Sakete dekiya bada prabhura adhara, hasena prabhura yata sava anuchara. On seeing the Lord's fondness for Saka, all of his devotees smiled. साकेरे महिमा प्रभु सबारे kahiya, bhojana karena Prabhu Isha hasiya. The Lord smiled and glorified the Saka preparation as he ate. Lord said, this is one sak, one very important. Lord said, this saka is known as Achyuta sak. By eating this, one develops attachment for Krishna. Prabhu bale यही अच्युत नाम साका इहारे भोजन हया कृष्ण अनुराग पाटला वस्तु का काला सकेरा भोजन जन्म जन्म विहार ये वैष्णवेर सने by eating patal vastu ka and kala sakas one enjoys the Vaishnavas association birth after birth. Patal, we all know patal. You get in a small one, green patal. It is called. Katal is jackfruit. Patal is small, like it's not karela, but a small vegetable, green color. Inside the seeds will be sometimes big. So that is called patal. So by offering patal and vastuka, I don't know, kala sak, kala sak, and then further one more is also important. By eating salincha and helencha sak, one remains free from disease and attains the devotional service of Krishna. Two saks are important. Spinach. One is called Achyuta sak. I think this is red leaves. Red leaves, I think. Need to find out. Achyuta sak. That Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And another one is mentioned. This I know. Confidently 100% I can tell you. Salincha and Helencha. This is called watercress. You get in farmer's market. Not in Indian shop. In shop rate also you will not get. In farmers market you will get, especially on Route 9 farmers market, you get. I get this regularly. It is called helencha sak, watercress in English. By eating this helencha sak, watercress, one remains free from disease and attains the devotional service of Krishna. Imagine how important it is. Simply just offer with love and devotion to Lord Krishna, and then you take as Mahaprasad. So easy to do, not much difficulty in cooking that, and we can get easily Krishna Prema. Now I'll read more. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's different pastimes. How easily we can get Mahaprabhu's mercy. First I will read from, there is a Danda Bangana Leela, where Mahaprabhu performed. So from Murari Gupta Karcha, mentioned breaking of Mahaprabhu's sannyas staff. 1 minute. Before that, there is a nice pastime which everybody will, sweet pastime. Everybody will like. Nityananda Prabhu's Leela at Ram Ghata. This is in Vrindavan. Lord Nityananda, before meeting Mahaprabhu, Lord Nityananda Prabhu, taken by sannyasi, Lakshmipati Tirtha, his spiritual master, took him to Vrindavan, holy places. So this is Nityananda Prabhu at Vrindavan. Whoever hears the glories of Ramagata can be easily freed from worldly life. During his pilgrimages, Sri Rasa Vilasi Rama Nityananda Raya passed some days here. He played with the cowherd boys and ate curd, milk, roots, and fruits. Whenever he felt hungry, he was perplexed, trying unsuccessfully to conceal his identity as Baladeva. The local people said, this must be Rohini Nandana, traveling in Vraja as an Avaduta. Seeing Nityananda's divine performance, all people, young, old, and youths, were bewildered. Raghava showed, this is a discussion between Raghava Pandit and Srinivas Acharya, this discussion. Raghava showed the Sakata tree, whose wood Nityananda used to clean his teeth. Sakata tree, I don't know. Sakata tree, whose wood, generally Mahaprabhu, I think Prabhupada used to use neem wood, neem twig for the, even Lord Jagannath also, for Lord Jagannath also they use neem woods, neem twig for brushing the teeth. So here Saka tree it is called. At Ramagata, there was a Brahmana who could not live for a moment without the thoughts of Baladeva. To satisfy his devotee, Nityananda gave him darshana as Baladeva. So for Monday, Nityananda Trayodasi, you can bring some of these vegetables, like various types of spinach, if you like, And you can also bring patal, you can buy. You can also bring yogurt, as it is mentioned here. Yogurt is generally favorite to, Krishna was eating yogurt rice only on the left hand, and Lord Brahma was bewildered. He is not, is he my Lord? Why is he eating on the left hand with, eating on left hand yogurt rice in his hand? No plate, nothing. So he was bewildered, and he stole the calves and cows, all that. So called boys. So that's why you can buy these. You can do at home. You can also bring it to temple, so they can offer it for you for the pleasure of the Lord. So it is mentioned here. Also, Kalindi prayed to Nityananda. Kalindi is also called Yamuna. Yamuna is also called Kalindi, because Yamuna is daughter of sun god. Yeah, daughter of sun god, I think. Yeah, I believe daughter of sun god, Kalindi. Because also there's this, what is that? Kaliya also stayed in Yamuna river, and then Lord Krishna played, did a beautiful dance on Kaliya's hoods. From that way also Yamuna got Kalindi, name Kalindi. So after her worship and prayers to the Lord, then she became Kalindi, became Yamuna later on, but before name was Kalindi. So Kalindi prayed to Nityananda, Sri Rasa Vilasi Balarama. Even the demigods could not restrain their tears of ecstasy as they watched Nityananda sporting at this place. When Nityananda slept on the bed of dust beneath the trees, this is near Yamuna Ghat, this Ram Ghat, he would call out again and again in his dream, when will the emancipation of these wretched souls take place? When will the Lord of Navadvip advent himself? He's talking about when will Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Krishna will appear, so that he can meet him, he can start the congregation chanting, he can deliver people. That's what he's talking about. I will go and see him with my own eyes. No one could understand the meaning of his words. Kachavana is a place near Ramagata where the children used to play Kachapa, as Kachapa, as turtles. In Bhushanavana, the Sakas dressed Krishna in flower ornaments. All these places are famous for Krishna's pastimes. Seeing these places relieves one from blazing fire of material existence. While describing these holy places, Sri Raghav Pandit and his followers followed through the forest, whose beauty created restlessness within their mind. Traveling on the path to Bandira, they felt great happiness within. Presently, people call this place of the Akshaya Vata, a banyan tree. Speaking in a very sweet words, Raghav told Srinivas, look at this beautiful place called Bandira Vata. At this place, Balarama and Krishna enjoyed their sports as they played games with their Sakas, friends. Pralambasura in disguise also joined them. Balarama in fun killed Pralamba and in this way enjoyed Krishna's various pastimes with the Sakas here in Bandira. One day, as Krishna sat beneath the tree in Bandira, he played his flute in such an enchanting tone that it could drive the whole world mad. When Radha heard the sound of the flute, she became agitated and ran to meet Krishna along with her friends. In great ecstasy, they enjoyed various sporting pastimes here along with the Sakis. This is called Ramagata. This is the pastime at Ramagata. Now, let's read further. 267. Yeah. Now the breaking of Mahaprabhu's sannyas staff by Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Thereafter, Lord set forth together with Mukunda, Gadadhar, and saintly Brahmanas. He placed the Avaduta in front of the party and himself just behind him, and together they appeared like the radiant moon in conjunction with Venus. Tata prataste Bhagavan Mukunda Gadadharayudhir Dvija Sajjani Prabhu Puro Avaduta Pranidaya Devo Raraja Kavyena Ito Upadesha. While they traveled, at times Sri Gauranga would sing songs of Krishna, and sometimes he would explain their meaning. Sometimes he would faint. Sometimes he would run very swiftly. At other times walk slowly, and sometimes he would walk with a stumbling gait because his composure was smashed to pieces by ecstatic love for Krishna. At evening, if some suitable food had been obtained, Gaurahari would eat after it was offered to Krishna. At night, abandoning sobriety, the divine person sang of Sri Krishna and cried out of him. Thus he brought happiness to the great souls accompanying him. The blessed Lord personally taught them one verse. Please hear it. For through it one can obtain undeviating attachment for his lotus feet. Instruction here. The Mahaprabhu, Lord Krishna, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught this one verse, one kirtan to sing for all of them. Rama Raghava Pahi Mam, Krishna Kesava Krishna Kesava Trahi Mam. Rama Raghava Pahi Mam, Krishna Kesava Krishna Kesava Trahi Mam. O Rama, O Raghava, O Rama, O Raghava, O Rama, O Raghava, please protect me. O Krishna, O Kesava, O Krishna, O Kesava, O Krishna, O Kesava, please preserve me. It's an easy way to simply, by just following the instruction of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu here, one can obtain undeviating attachment for his lotus feet. With a melodious tone and smiling face, the greatest of sages, the eternal protector of mankind, sang these two lines to instruct bhakti to people in general. Sometimes a toll collector would approach them, taking them to be some traveling beggars. Upon hailing them, that man would spontaneously feel joyful and free from fatigue. Once another toll collector approached the Jagat Guru, who was surrounded by his fellow travelers on the path. This person was desirous to extract some money from the party, and so he detained the Lord from continuing on. The Lord gestured with a wave of his hand, saying to that man, "Go far away from here." At that, toll collector left them, and the illustrious Gaura went blissfully on his way. Once the Guru of the universe placed his danda in Avaduta's hand, Guru of the universe, the Lord Krishna, he placed his danda, sannyas staff, in the hand of Nityananda Prabhu, Balram. See what Nityananda Prabhu does. And went ahead, while Nityananda walked slowly behind. Munificent Lord Nityananda, his mind fraught with anguish, thought, "My Prabhu carries a danda, but I shall take it from him. One can easily understand him to be the Supreme Lord, the reservoir of all opulence, for his presence is brilliant like fire. He is the supreme divine person. He is filled with splendor and eternally bears in his four hands the conch, disc, club, and lotus. Therefore, enough of this stick. Lord is carrying all this conch, disc, club, lotus. Why should he carry this stick? So much burden. And he's already removed his hair and no hair on the head, beautiful body. He took his sannyas clothes. So Lord Nityananda was very upset. All the devotees, including his mother. So that's why Nityananda Prabhu is doing this. At present, Sri Hari displays the behavior of an ordinary man. Therefore, he holds the staff of a renunciant. In his previous avatar, he played upon the Murali flute, and his form enchanted the mind of all living beings. Thus he enjoyed pleasure pastimes with Sri Radha. At that moment, Nityananda came alongside Sri Gaurahari, who seeing him said, "Now give back my danda." Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was asking for that. Then Avadota apprehensively replied, "By the design of providence, while walking, my foot slipped upon the ground, and your danda snapped and is broken." Lord Nityananda Prabhu giving that, what he did, is telling. Becoming angry, the Lord said to Avadhuta, "All the devas headed by Shiva together with their Shaktis reside in my danda. By breaking my danda, you have given them pain. Do you think that giving devatas pain is of no consequence?" Hearing this, Nityananda replied, "I have rather done them great good." A moment later, the Lord gave up his anger and said, "When I have travelled to see Lord Jagannatha, the supreme male and wielder of chakra, I must stay a few months by his side. My danda must be abandoned. Such is my opinion. Nityananda has thrown it on that ground and broken it. What else can I do?" So saying, he embraced Lord Nityananda and commanded him in a charming tone, "Always act in compliance with my wishes." Chaitanya Mahaprabhu couldn't say anything. So that's why he told mildly that, "Please act in compliance with my wishes." One more pastime. Pastimes of Nityananda. One more pastime. Oops. When Nityananda Prabhu arrived in Navadvip, he at first felt an intense eagerness to see Sachi Mata. Entering her home, he bowed down close to her feet, saying, "Oh mother, I am very pleased to come and see you." Hearing these words, she quickly took his head in her hands and kissed it again and again, addressing, "My dear child, She said sweetly, "Dear child, please stay in my house, for thus I can always look at you and become free from sorrow." This is from Murari Gupta Karcha discussion between Devananda Pandit and Murari Gupta. Murari Gupta is the Lord Hanuman in Gaur Leela. Lord Hanuman in Rama Leela appeared as Murari Gupta in Chaitanya Gaur Leela. Devananda Pandit, I don't remember his name in Krishna Leela. She said sweetly, "Dear child, please stay in my house, for thus I always look at you and become free from sorrow." Laughing loudly, Nityananda replied to her, "Hear me, mother, I tell you truly, along with my younger brother, Lord Chaitanya, I forever live by your side," is assuring Mother Sachi. "Since Sri Krishna's lips thoroughly savor the food you cook, I always stay in your presence out of greed for tasting it." Hearing this, Sachidevi laughed and offered to him all the foods which she had prepared. There was very fine cooked rice. Note down, fine cooked rice. Soup made of dal and vegetables. These are all very easy to perform. Soup made of dal and vegetables. So you can try with whatever is available. You can put some vegetables in dal and make it. Plus various sweets such as sweet rice. All of these foods had a very wonderful flavor. While the lover of his devotee Sri Nityananda ate laughing in the company of his younger brother, who was indeed present, Sachimata gazed upon their lotus faces. Seeing Rama and Krishna eating, she became merged in a sea of joy. Nityananda, the ocean of mercy, glanced at her and said, "Mother, tell me now, were my words true?" She replied, "Dear child, your words are as true as the words of Ishvara. Still, I wish that I could always see you and your younger brother." Nityananda replied, "Dear mother, whatever you may order me, it is always my duty to fulfill it with gladness." Thus, Nityananda, bestower of all bliss, stayed in the house of Sachi and created transcendental happiness for the residents of Navadvipa. He inspired all men to taste the rasa of munificence and service to the name, as taught by Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And as he danced with all his associates, his heart was filled with joy of Gauranga Kirtan. His body was anointed by fragrant scents and sandalwood paste, and he was dressed in a garment of deep blue color. He was decorated by ornaments of gold, silver, coral, and other precious substances. In another pastime also, the 9 types of devotional service: Sravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedam. So that 9 devotional service in another pastime in Chaitanya Bhagavat, we see that 9 jewels Nityananda Prabhu wears on his fingers. That is represented as. So you can see his fully blossomed lotus-like mouth with fragrant camphor and betel. This also I see multiple times. Camphor and betel. Generally, there's after offering boga to Lord Krishna, there's offering of 2 things. Mukwas in Gujarati they call, but here the simple mukwas is tulsi leaves, lavang, and ilaichi. Ilaichi without the skin, the seeds, cardamom seeds. Offering just 3 of them: tulsi leaves, lavang, and the ilaichi, the cardamom seeds. Offering because for the fragrance in the mouth. Lord also same way, because in another pastime we see, I saw multiple times this one. Advaita Acharya, Mahaprabhu told, "Bring my favorite items," and Advaita Acharya and his wife knows, and they brought these 6 items. Out of them, this also is there: camphor and betel. This camphor is a eating camphor, not the other camphor, not the one we light up the diya. No, this is the eating camphor. You get in India for sure. Here also you'll have to ask for eating camphor. Camphor and betel, betel nuts. For the Lord pleasure, yes, Lord, they offer pan also in some of the temples. Same way betel nuts also, but not for our consumption. Or for the Lord, we can give it to others who take as a Mahaprasad. But camphor, this is eating camphor. Even in laddus, in Tirupati laddu, very famous, they use camphor. This is eating camphor. So very, very pungent, very fragrant. So here Nityananda Prabhu being offered. So that is what is recommended. He held a copper staff. He was further ornamented by a silver necklace holding the Kaustubha gem. Obviously, we cannot get Kaustubha gem. That is Vaikuntha. So that is Lord Vishnu only has Kaustubhajam, nobody else has. Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna, Vishnu Tattva only has this Kaustubhajam. The illustrious Lord wore a single earring. This is a special of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. He wears single earring. Uh, and he was decorated by a garland of forest flowers. He held a flute in his hand and he sang incessantly of Sri Gauranga's qualities. Seeing his fine ornaments, all the band of thieves and dacoits made many attempts to steal them. Yeah, this pastime in another, in Chaitanya Bhagavat. This is in Murari Gupta Karcha. In Chaitanya Bhagavat, same was explained. There's 9 ornaments. Feeling great comparison for them, great compassion for them, Nityananda Mahaprabhu transformed them from murderous dacoits into men wholly absorbed in relishing the nectarian bliss of Gauranga Kirtan. Thus, Nityananda took his pleasure as Gaura Bhavuka, one who madly experienced the ecstatic emotions and transcendental moods of taught by Krishna Chaitanya. And he performed many kinds of sportive pastimes as a cowherd boy. Overflowing with affection for all, Nityananda Prabhu traveled along the bank of Ganga, visiting the homes of his bhaktas, tasting bliss. Once he visited the home of Krishna Das, who was a resident of Bagachi. Having attained the unattainable Supreme Personality of Godhead as a guest within his home, Krishna Das became filled with joy and danced while waving his upper garment. The town known as Bagachi is most pious, for in that place Nityananda Swarupa enjoyed many pleasure pastimes. Then, surrounded by his devotees, headed by Krishnadas and Ramadas, and reveling in the bliss of Kirtan, Nityananda approached Sri Navadvip in the company with Gopalas, and these Gopalas, 12 Gopalas I mentioned earlier, made the 3 worlds fully satisfied through the chanting of Sri Krishna Chaitanya name, just as it had formerly been in the land of Vraja, when Nanda ruled as king of the cohorts. Nityananda's love for Sri Gauranga was the very energy which sustained his life. He was surrounded by associates who inundated the world with nectarian rains of Krishna Kirtana. They were decorated by staffs for herding the cows, various kinds of flutes, buffalo horn, bugles, stands of red gunja berries. These red gunja berries also very famous, especially in Radha and Krishna's pastime. They use in India. It is available here. Here I doubt. The red thing is very small. At the bottom it will be red. On the tip it will be little bit black. You get, especially in my village, I have seen this red gunja berries. In some temples, you will see that they will keep next to Radha Krishna deity. In the night they play. That's how they keep. Here also in New Jersey, in one temple they have like this. So here that's what red gunja berries is mentioned here. Stands of red gunja berries. In their company, he who is none other than the original Baladeva, who formerly played the pastimes of cohort boy in Vrindavana, displayed that same form to the whole world. Beautiful pastimes in this way. This Dandabangan Leela is happened in when Navadvip Dham from Mayapur going to, when if you visit next time in Jagannath Puri, Sri Kshetra Jagannath Puri, there you will see there are a few places to visit. There is a Sri Chaitanya Dandabanga Leela Kunja Ashram in near Puri. This is very close to Jagannath Puri. There is a Chandanpur. Where Mahaprabhu, before Mahaprabhu gave the danda, there is a Mahaprabhu visits the temple, Kapoteswar Mahadev, Lord Shiva's temple, the Dandabanga Leela Bhumi Kapoteswar Mahadev temple there. And also he visits, he takes that is in Chandanpur. The area place is called Chandanpur, Kapoteswar Mahadev temple, where, and then he broke the flute. There is also Bhrugumuni's temple is there. Bhrugumuni worship the deities of Lord, I think Lord Ramachandra. So those deities, the temple is also there. And then we have the Chandanpur Dandabanga Gopinath temple is also there. All these are the places where this pastime has happened. So there is a river, Chandapur, it is called Chandanpur, Chandapur, different names are being given. So that's where this pastime has happened. Also Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, who is the close associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, has written 108 names, Ashtottara Nama, on Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Beautiful prayers. Sriman Nityananda Chandraya Namaha. Nityananda Maham Vande Karne Lambita Muktikam Chaitanyagraj Rupena Pavitra Kruta Bhutalam. I praise Nityananda on whose ear a pearl ornament hangs. Accepting the role of Lord Chaitanya's elder brother, he purified the earth. Another instruction. So if you can get pearl earrings. We can offer to Lord Nityananda Prabhu. If you can get, we can offer now or some other time, or March, I think second week, third week, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gaur Purnima coming up, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appearance, Holi is also called. So that time we can offer, if you are not able to get for Monday, pearl earring, pearl ornament, hangs here, Sarvam, because what acharyas give these pastimes is indication of how we can serve them by seeing this pastime in the mood, in their with prayers to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, we can offer in that mood because we don't know anything. So on their authority, we are trying to offer for their pleasure. Pranamya Sri Jagannadam Nityananda Mahaprabhum Namnam Ashtottara Shatam Pravakshami Mudakaram. Offering prostrated obeisance before Sri Nityananda Mahaprabhu, Master of the Universe, I shall now proclaim his 108 names which awaken ecstasy in the heart. I will not go through that, but I just want to mention that one earring. So instruction. So read. There are so many pastimes. I don't know how many we'll cover, but quickly we'll see. Let me see. The quick one. I think that's the quick one. How to get the mercy of the Lord. This is in Chaitanya Bhagavat, Glories of Lord Nityananda, Madhyakanda, Part 2, where it is describing. After the speaking in this way, the Lord took Nityananda's kaupin and tore it into many small pieces. So this is why I told observing the festival is very important. And then when the Abhishek cloth is used, this is after when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu meeting Lord Nityananda Prabhu first time in Nandan Acharya's home. I had given a class at ISKCON Columbus. I described that. So I'm just reading this. A few verses are there. Instructions are nice. Instructions are there. Easy instructions. Yeta bali Prabhu tare kaupina aniya chota kari chirulena aneka kariya. After speaking in this way, Lord took Nityananda's kaupin and tore it into many small pieces. Lord then personally distributed those pieces to every one of the Vaishnavas. Sakala Vaishnava Mandalire Janai Jane Kani Kani Kari Prabhu Dilena Apane. The Lord said, to tie this piece of cloth on your head. What to speak of others? Even the greatest mystic yogis desire this. Prabhu Bale Ei Vastura Bandhara Sabe Sire Anyera Hi Daya Iha Vanche Yogesware. Simply by the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, one obtains devotional service of Vishnu. Know it for certain that Nityananda is the full potency of Krishna. So that's why it is very important to observe this festival. You cannot come to temple and do it at home Monday. It's very, very important day. Nityananda Prasade Se Haya Vishnu Bhakti Janiha Krishnera Nityananda Purna Bhakti. You can bring pearl earring, you can bring sak, you can offer yogurt, so you can offer patal. So at least at home, if you cannot come to temple, try to come. If not, at least this way. Nityananda is the second manifestation of Krishna. He serves the Lord as his companion, friend, bed, ornaments, well-wisher and brother. Krishnera Dvitiya Nityananda Bhayinai, Sangi, Saka, Shayana, Bhushana, Bandhu Bhai. The characteristics of Nityananda are incomprehensible to the Vedas. He is the origin, protector and friend of all living entities. Vedera Agamya Nityanandera Charitra. Sarva Jiva Janaka Rakshaka Sarvan Mitra. Is the origin, is the protector, is the friend. Yes, any disturbance we have, we can simply pray to Lord Nityananda. By his one kick, everything will be disappears. So that is the power of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. His dealings are full of transcendental mellows for Krishna. Just by serving him, one obtains devotion service and love of Krishna. Ihara Vyabhara Sabha Krishna Rasamaya. Ihare Sevile Krishna Prema Bhakti Haya. Bhakti Kari Ihana Kaupina Banda Sire Mahayatane Iha Puja Kare Gya Gare. Tie the piece of this kaupina on your head with devotion. Go home and worship it with great care. You see the instruction. So whenever we get Mahaklat of the Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna, Lord Nityananda Balaram, so Abhishek cloth, we can use it. Mahaprabhu is instructing. Tie it to your head and worship with great care. Because anything It is very rare to get Lord's anything Maha. Especially cloth can stay longer. Especially because there is a, yeah, many instructions are there. So further, one more instruction is also there. Being ordered by the Lord, all the devotees respectfully tied those pieces of copine on their heads. The Lord said, listen, devotees, drink the water that has washed the feet of Nityananda Prabhu. That means once we do the Abhishek, we get Charanamrit, we should drink. This is also very, very auspicious. When we offer milk on the Lord, it is mentioned as offenses will be removed or disturbances, difficulties will be removed. So that's why Abhishek is one of the favorite item. Taking bath, Lord taking bath is very, very pleasing to the Lord. So by giving bath, nice bath with mild, hot with the fragrant, putting saffron and other things, panchamrit, other nice items, juices, and giving a nice bath and offering food stuff after that. If you have a deity at home, this is the pleasing to the Lord. This is one of the service which is pleasing to the Lord. Here Mahaprabhu is telling, wash the feet, do the abhishek and then drink that water. He is telling you, as soon as one drinks that water, what will happen? One will develop fixed devotional service to Krishna. There is no doubt about it. Karileri matra yei padodaka pana Krishna druda bhakti haya inhe nahi ana. Being ordered by the Lord, all the devotees immediately washed the feet of Nityananda with water and drank it. Some of the devotees drank 5 times. That means they are very eager. They are very greedy for the mercy. And some drank 10 times. Nityananda laughed constantly and did not know what was going on. Sitting where he was, Gauranga Mahaprabhu in great jubilation personally distributed the water that washed the feet of Nityananda. So Krishna himself is showing by his example how to serve, how to get the Mahaprasad, receive the mercy. After drinking the water from Nityananda's feet, everyone became intoxicated and lonely, chanted the name of Hari. Kehavale aji danya kahila jivana. Kehavale aji sabha kandila bandhana. Someone said, today my life has become successful. Someone else said, today my material bondage is vanquished. Someone said, today I have become a servant of Krishna. Someone else said, today is the most auspicious day for me. Another said, this water is so tasty that I still feel sweetness in my mouth. What a wonderful influence of water that washed the feet of Nityananda has. For just by drinking that water, everyone became agitated. After drinking that water, someone danced, someone sang, someone rolled on the ground, others roared loudly all the time. A tumultuous ecstatic kirtana began, and all the devotees were completely overwhelmed as they danced. Soon Sri Gaurasundar roared loudly and began to dance profusely. This is the pastime. Chapter 12, Chaitanya Bhagavat, Madhya Kanda, Part 2. Interest of time, I'm not reading the whole chapter. One more pastime there, small one, bigger one. Let's see, 1 minute. This is Madhya Kanda, Part 1. Yeah, this is childhood pastimes. Yeah. Yeah. Few verses I'll chant, then we'll do another one. Lord Nityananda is the foremost devotees of Lord Chaitanya, for the glories of Lord Chaitanya always reside on his tongue. Day and night, Lord Nityananda chants the glories of Lord Chaitanya. So when one worships Lord Nityananda, he certainly attains the devotion for Lord Chaitanya. Very important instruction. All glories to Lord Nityananda, who is the first manifestation of Lord Chaitanya. The glories of Lord Chaitanya become manifest by his mercy. One becomes attached to Nityananda by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya, and one who knows Nityananda never faces any adversities. Very important. Chaitanya Krupaya Haya Nityananda Rati. Nityananda Janile Apad Nahi Kati. Those who wish to cross the ocean of material existence and drown in the ocean of devotion service must worship Lord Nityananda. Someone said Nityananda is just like Balaram. Another person said he is the most dear to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Therefore, I kick the head of any sinful person who disregards the glories of Lord Nityananda and dares to criticize him. If you find any follower of Lord Chaitanya appear to say something bad about Nityananda, you should know for certain that what they said was actually glorification. Vaishnavas are always pure and full of knowledge. So if there is ever any quarrel between them, you should know it is simply part of their pastimes. If a person takes the side of one Vaishnava and criticizes another, he is certainly vanquished. Anyone who follows Nityananda without finding fault in him will surely attain the shelter of Sri Gaurasundar. When will the day come when I will see Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda surrounded by their devotees? Let me sorrow Gaurasundara, Lord Krishna, under the instruction of Lord Nityananda, who is my worshipful Lord in all respects. I desire to study Srimad Bhagavatam under the Sri Nityananda Sarupa, birth after birth. All glories to the Supreme Lord Sri Gauranga, who have given me and then taken from me then take then taken from me the association of Lord Nityananda. Still I beg you for your mercy, so that my mind may attain absorbed in his and your lotus feet. Lord Nityananda is your greatest devotee. No one can attain him without your sanction. Lord Nityananda traveled throughout the forest of Vrindavana until Lord Gaurachandra displayed his opulences. Whoever hears this description of Nityananda Swarupa's visit to the holy places will attain the treasure of divine love. Accepting Sri Chaitanya and Nityananda as my life and soul, I, Vrindavan Das Thakur, sang the glories of their lotus feet. This is in Adi Kanda part 2. Vrindavan Das Thakur Chaitanya Bhagavat Adi Kanda part 2, chapter number 9. This is Nityananda Prabhu's Adi Leela. Night 14. So, with this pastime will end. Nice glories of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, many, but we'll try to cover at least few. Beautiful chapter 5, Chaitanya Bhagavat, Antyakanda, part 2, pastimes of Nityananda Prabhu, pastimes of Nityananda Prabhu. Nitai's love for Lord Chaitanya was like the love and attachment Lakshmana had for Ramachandra. By the mercy of Lord Nityananda, the entire world is now singing the glories of Lord Chaitanya. In this way, the two brothers Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nitai lived at Nilachal. One day, Sri Gaurasundar, Lord Krishna, the Supreme Lord, in the form of human being, sat down with Nityananda in solitary place. The Lord said, "Listen, O magnanimous Nityananda, go quickly to Navadvip. I have personally promised to inundate the fools, the fallen, and the poor in the happiness of ecstatic love. If you also remain silent like a Muni and renounce your magnanimous nature, then tell me, who will deliver the fools and the wretched souls who have fallen into the material life? You are the distributor of the mellows of devotional service. If you hide them, then what is the use of your incarnation in this world?" The Mahaprabhu is describing this. Now, if you wish to fulfill my promise, then you should go to Bengal without delay. Deliver the foolish, wretched, fallen, distressed persons by giving them devotional service. Having received the Lord's order, Sri Nityananda Chandra immediately left for Gauda Desha with his associates. Nityananda Swarupa was accompanied by his intimate associates such as Ramadas, Gadadhar Das, Mahasaya, Raghunath Vaidya, was filled with the mellows of devotion. Krishna Das Pandit, Parameswari Das, and most jubilant Purandara Pandit. As they began their journey, Lord Nityananda first bestowed ecstatic love on all of his associates. As a result, they completely forgot themselves. There was no end to the ecstatic symptoms that manifest in their bodies. The topmost Vaishnava Ramadas was the first to manifest the mood of a cowherd boy. This is Ramadas is called Mini Ketan Ramadas. Chapter 5 in Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela, I think 5 or 7. Mini Ketan, I think 7 probably. Glories of Lord Nityananda, Mini Ketan Ramadas, one of the associates, is one of the 12 Gopalas. Ramadas. Somewhere on the way, Ramadas forgot the external world and stood for 9 hours in a threefold bending form. Gadadhar Das became absorbed in the mood of Radhika. He loudly laughed and said, "Who will buy yogurt?" The most magnanimous Raghunath Vaidya Upadhyaya became fully absorbed in the mood of Revati. Krishna Das and Parameswari Das would always raise a loud uproar in the mood of cowherd boys. Purandar Pandita would climb a tree and then jump from it and declaring, "I am Angada." Hanuman's army, Angada. There. In this way, Nityananda, the origin of Ananta, aroused all of the devotees' transcendental sentiments. Within a half hour, they would cover 4 to 8 miles. They did not know whether they were going left or right. After some time, they would ask some people, "Oh, brothers, tell us, how can we reach the Ganga?" Those people would reply, "Alas, you have taken the wrong path. You have come 6 hours away from the proper path." After hearing their word, they would return to the right path, but they would go in the wrong direction as before. Again, they would ask some people, who would reply, "The proper path is 20 miles to the left." They then laughed and went again toward the proper path. They were not even aware of their own bodies, so what to speak of the road? They did not feel any bodily urges like hunger, thirst, fear, or distress, for they were all relishing transcendental happiness. Who could know or describe all the pastimes that Nityananda performed on the way? They are all unlimited, or only Ananta can know and describe them. In this way, Lord Nityananda, the origin of Lord Ananta, came to the village of Panihati on the bank of Ganga. This Panihati is in West Bengal, where we celebrate Panihati festival. Atlanta, we have the temple. It's called New Panihati Dham. He first went to Raghav Pandit's house, where he stayed along with his associates. Raghav Pandit, Sri Makaradwaja Khara, and their families became greatly pleased. In this way, Nityananda stayed with his associate in the village of Panihati. He would constantly roar loudly in ecstasy, and he was always overwhelmed with no sign of external consciousness. When he felt the desire to dance, all the singers quickly gathered around him. The most pious Madhav Ghosh was expert in performing kirtan. There was no kirtan leader like him in the entire world. He was known as the singer of Vrindavana. He was the most dear to Nityananda Swarupa. Madhava, Vasudeva, and Govinda. These are three brothers. When they began to sing, Lord Nityananda would dance. The most powerful Avaduta would dance in such a way that the earth would sway under the weight of his feet. He would always chant the names of Hari and roar loudly. People would be struck with wonder on seeing him forcibly fall to the ground. Anyone who received his glance as he was dancing would fall to the ground in ecstatic love. Nityananda was filled with mellows of ecstatic love. Now began his auspicious task of delivering the entire world. He manifested all the various transformation of loving devotion service as he danced wonderfully. After some time, he sat down on the deity throne and instructed the devotees to perform Abhishek. Raghav Pandit and Lord's other associates immediately began to perform Abhishek. They brought thousands of pots filled with Ganga water mixed with various scented oils. Everyone happily poured water on his head as they all chanted the names of Hari in the four directions. They all chanted the mantras and songs that were appropriate for Abhishek, and everyone's hairs stood on end as they became filled with great satisfaction. While performing Abhishek, we should chant the Brahma-Samhita Prayers. Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. In vedabase.net, you will get Brahma-Samhita. There's a book from verse number 20, 20 or 23 to 60. We have to chant. Starting with Chintamani Prakara Sadma Sukalparuksha Laksha Bhuteshu Rabhe Ravipalayantam Lakshmi Sahasra Sasadam Brahmasevyamanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So that those are the prayers we are supposed to sing while, or you can play on Google. You may find you can mention Brahma-Samhita Prayers and ISKCON. You will get some audio or video. You can play that if you have a deity you are doing Abhishek at home. After completing the Abhishek, they dressed Nityananda Prabhu in new cloth and smeared his body with sandalwood pulp. They decorated his broad chest with garland of forest flowers and tulsi leaves. Then they brought an opulent throne decorated with gold and placed it before him. As Lord Nityananda sat on the throne, Sri Raghavananda held an umbrella over his head. All the devotees began to chant Jai Jai. Musical instruments produced ecstatic vibration in four directions. Everyone raised their arms and exclaimed, "Save us, save us." They were in such an ecstasy that they forgot themselves. In his own ecstatic mood, Lord Nityananda Prabhu showered everyone in the four directions with ecstatic love by his merciful glance. He ordered, "Listen, Raghav Pandit, quickly bring me a garland of Kadamba flowers. I am very fond of Kadamba flowers. In fact, I always reside in a Kadamba forest." This is famous. You will see, I think here are some other pastime. We'll see. With folded hands, Raghavananda said, "This is not the season of Kadamba flowers." The Lord then said, go home and look carefully. There may be some blossom blooming somewhere. Yes, this is the pastime I was talking about. Raghav Pandit's house in the backyard. Now Nityananda Prabhu is telling, "Go back and check." Now see, Raghava went inside the house and was struck with wonder at what he saw. He saw that that the lime tree was filled with most amazing blooming kadamba flowers. How wonderful was the color and fragrance of these flowers. All one's material bondage was destroyed by seeing these flowers. When Raghav Pandit saw those kadamba flowers, he lost external consciousness and became filled with jubilation. He then checked his emotions and quickly prepared a garland which he brought to Nityananda Prabhu. When Lord Nityananda Prabhu saw the garland of kadamba flowers, he accepted it with great satisfaction. All the Vaishnavas became overwhelmed on seeing that wonderful incident and on smelling the sweet fragrance of that Kadamba garland. Shortly thereafter, another most wonderful incident took place. Everyone smelled the wonderful fragrance of Damanaka flowers. This is another one. Damanaka in English, it is called Artemisia. Artemisia indica. I don't know, we have to Google it and see what these flowers are, if they are available here. We can get it. The fragrance of Damanaka flowers enchanted everyone's mind. All 10 directions were filled with that fragrance. Nityananda Prabhu smiled and said, "Oh brothers, tell me, do you smell something?" Everyone folded their hands and said, "Yes, we smell the wonderful fragrance of Damanaka flowers in the 4 directions." Earlier one was Kadamba. Kadamba is favorite of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. This is Damanaka flowers, favorite of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Kadamba and Damanaka. On hearing their words, Lord Nityananda mercifully revealed a secret behind this. Nityananda Prabhu said, "Listen to this most confidential topic. All of you should understand this. Lord Chaitanya came today from Nilachal to hear the Kirtan. His body, Sarvange Pariya Divya Damanaka Mala Eka Vrukshe Avalambana Kariya Rakila. His body was decorated with a divine garland of Damanaka flowers, and he stayed here for a while leaning against the one tree. Say Sri Angera Divya Damanaka Gandhe Chaturdike Purna Haya Achaya Anande. The 4 directions were filled with the divine fragrance of Damanaka flowers that were decorating his body. Toma Savakara Nitya Kirtana Dekite Apana Ila Prabhu Nilachala Hite. The Lord personally came from Nilachala to see you all dance and chant in Kirtan. Therefore, you should give up all other engagements and absorb yourself in the constant glorification of Lord Krishna. Niravadi Sri Krishna Chaitanya Chandra Yese Sabara Sarira Purna How Prema Rase. May all of you become filled with the mellows of ecstatic love by constant glorifying Sri Krishna Chaitanya Chandra. Eta Kahi Hari Bali Karaye Unkar Sarvadike Prema Drushti Karila Vistar. After speaking these words, Nityananda loudly chanted the name of Hari. He then cast his love-filled glance in all the directions. By the love-filled glance of Nityananda Swarupa, they all forgot themselves. Oh brothers, hear about the power of Nityananda and how he distributed devotion service throughout the entire world. The devotion of the gopis described in Srimad Bhagavatam was awarded to the people of the world by Nityananda Prabhu. As Nityananda was sitting on the throne, all of his associates danced before him. Someone climbed out on one branch, on the branch of tree, and walked on the leaves, yet he did not fall. Someone roared loudly in ecstatic love and jumped down from the top of a tree. Someone roared loudly as he grabbed the root of a tree, then uprooted it while chanting the name of Hari. Someone ran into the beetle nut forest, grabbed 5 or 7 trees, and uprooted them together. His body was filled with such a powerful ecstatic love that he uprooted these trees as if they were blades of grass. Nityananda Swarupa ecstatic love was so powerful that everyone's body became filled with transformation of ecstatic love for Krishna, described in Srimad Bhagavatam, such as crying, shivering, being stunned, perspiring, hair standing on end, shouting loudly, voice choking, turning pale, thundering, roaring like a lion, falling unconscious in ecstasy. There was an intense shower of ecstatic devotion, love in whatever direction Lord Nityananda cast his glance. Wherever he looked at he looked at lost consciousness in ecstatic love and rolled on the ground, forgetting his cloth. As someone tried to catch hold of Nityananda Swarupa's feet, Nityananda Prabhu sat on the throne and smiled. All the principal associates of Nityananda were fully empowered. They became omniscient. Wherever they spoke, whatever they spoke came true. Their features resembled those of a Kipur. Anyone who was touched by their hands forgot everything and became overwhelmed with ecstasy. In this way, Nityananda Prabhu released devotion service for 3 months in the village of Panihati. For 3 months, no one manifest external consciousness. They did not feel even the slightest urge of the body. This is the mercy of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So already 8:27. This is unending. I'm just touching only. I haven't even gone deeper. So many pastimes. Sri Nityananda Ram ki jai. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Gandhara Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Sri Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Any questions? Anyone has any questions? Let me see. Any? Is it muted? Yeah, okay, I can unmute. Any questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for the blissful pastimes, and it's just very wonderful, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for reading from different books. Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for your class and valuable time.
Anyone else has questions or comments? Okay, thank you. Tomorrow is also Lord Varahadev's appearance day, Ekadasi. Which Ekadasi? This is Baimi Ekadasi, because I think Lord Bhishma Pitama, one of the Mahajanas, he left. I think it must be, I think after sun crossed into the this Uttarayana, Sankranti, that is after January. Probably he might have left in this during this week. Probably we don't know the exact timing, so that's why it's Baimi, Bhima's, Baimi Ekadasi they call. So tomorrow is Baimi Ekadasi, and also Varah, because today also Ekadasi Tithi is there, so that's why tomorrow you see Dwadasi is also falling tomorrow, so the Varaha Dwadasi. Anyway, we are supposed to fast on Ekadasi only. Even generally Varaha Dwadasi comes next day after Ekadasi, and this time it both came on the same day. Tomorrow we are doing Ekadasi, and also Varaha Dwadasi appearance is there. Where this is been given 1 minute.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Ashesha Karana Jagannath Prabhu, yes.
So need to do fasting or something like that.
Yeah, fasting till noon, complete fasting till noon for Varaha Dwadasi. Yeah, tomorrow till afternoon, till noon, we should fast completely for Varaha Dwadasi.
Yeah. Can you repeat again, Prabhu?
Fast, full fast, without even water, if you are not diabetic. If you can stay without water till 12 o'clock, till noon tomorrow for Varahadev, then we can take Ekadasi, fruits, whatever, not grains, obviously. If you can, if you're diabetic, it's okay. You can take, water, fruits,
Yes, but
nuts.
till noon, right? Till noon, right, Prabhu?
Yes,
Prabhu?
yes. Till
Okay.
noon means 12 o'clock. Till noon.
12. Yes, 12. Yes. Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu. Harival, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam.
Maybe let's
Dandavat Pranam to everyone.
just 1 minute. I'll just sing. We'll just sing since Varaha Dwadasi. We'll just sing this and then we'll end. Uh, yeah, Gita Govinda, Dashavatara Stotram, written by Jayadev Goswami. Pralaya Payodi Jale Drutavana Sivedam Vihita Vahitra Chaitam Akedam Kesavadruta Mina Sarira Jaya Jagadisa Hare Jaya Jagadisa Hare क्षितिरिह विपुलतरे तिष्ठति तव पृष्ठे धरणिधारणखिन चक्रगरिष्ठे केशवधृता कूर्मशरीरा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे वसति दशन शिखरे धरणि तव लग्न शशिनि कलंक कलेव निमग्न केशवधृता सूकर रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे. The Sukara is the boar, is the Lord Varaha, third verse from the Dashavatara. Tavakara Kamala Varenakam Adbhuta Sringam Dalita Hiranyakasipo Tanubhrangam Kesavadruta Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadish Hare Chalayasi Vikramane Balimadbhuta Vamana Padanaka Niranjanita Janapavana Kesavadruta Vamana Rupa Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare. क्षत्रिय रुधिरमये जगद अपगत पापं स्नपयसि पयसि समित भवतापं केशवधृता भृगुपति रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे. दिस इज परशुराम. भृगुपति मीन्स वितरसि दिक्षुरने दिक्पतिकम् अनीयं दशमुखमौलि बलिं रमणीयं केशवधृता राम शरीरा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे. That is Lord Ramachandra's. वहसि वपुषे विशदे वसनं जलधावं हलहति भीति मिलित यमुनाभं केशवधृता हलधर रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे. This is Lord Balaram. Haladhara means Haladhara, Halayuda, Dhara, Nityananda Ram, Balaram. So many names are there. Nitai. Yeah. Nitai and Nimai. Yeah, Nimai is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nitai is Balaram. Nindasi yajna bader aha sruti jatam sadaya hridaya darshita pasugatam keshavadruta buddha sarira jay jagadish hare jay jagadish hare. Buddha sarira, Lord Buddha, Satyavish avatar. म्लेच्छ निवह निधने कलयसि करवालं धूमकेतुम् इव किमपि करालं केशवधृता कल्कि शरीरा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे. This is Kalki incarnation, will come at the end of Kali Yuga. श्री जयदेव कवेरिदम् उदितम् उदारम् शृणु सुखदम् सुवदम् भवसारम् केशवधृता दशविधरूप जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे. Jayadev Goswami ki jai. Jayadev Goswami is a great devotee of the Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So thank you all.